Hi everybody, welcome to this introduction to operating systems. What I'm doing today is, it's my mum's birthday, so I'm going to send her a message. And I haven't finished it yet, so at the moment, of course, Microsoft Word is loaded into RAM, and I haven't saved this document yet. Now, as you maybe know, RAM is an example of volatile memory. So if we shut down the computer, we lose everything. Okay? RAM doesn't store everything permanently. No. RAM is temporary memory. So this is known as volatile memory. If I want to secure my document here, I'm going to have to save it in non-volatile memory. Now, an example, of course, of non-volatile memory is your solid-state drive or your hard disk drive, whichever one you're using. Most people these days do use a solid-state drive, which, of course, is a little bit more expensive than a hard disk drive, but it is faster. Solid-state is faster. So it's more convenient for our modern lifestyles. The other option that we would have to save this document, if we've finished it, is to print it. So if I go into File and Print, we bring up the Print dialog box. Now, my question is, how does Microsoft Word know how to communicate with this printer? How does Microsoft Word know how to do that? Is Microsoft Word that smart? The answer is no. Microsoft Word is not that smart. What Microsoft Word needs in order to communicate with this printer is an operating system. An operating system allows applications on your computer to communicate with input and output devices that are connected to your computer. Okay, so an operating system is a really useful tool. It allows applications to communicate with input and output devices. Okay, so that's one purpose of an operating system. Now, just trying to think about this, on my computer, what operating system do I have? Okay, so I've already done a search for this and it's come up again. So let's use this search term. What operating system do I have? Okay, so I've got to, how to determine your operating system. Okay, so this is for Windows machines. Click Start, click Settings, click About. Okay, click Start, click Settings, and click About. There is no About. System. Oh, there it is, About. Okay, so I'm using Windows 10 for education. Okay, this is my operating system. A little bit old, but in my experience, it works well. Okay, so I'm using Windows 10 for education. What does Windows 10 give me as a user? Well, as I've just explained, one thing that Windows 10 will do is allow applications on my computer to communicate with input and output devices. That's one thing that it will do. Let me try to explain another useful thing about operating systems. A long time ago, when I was a student at university, so this is like 30 years ago, I had a computer that didn't have this kind of modern operating system. So if I wanted to go into my computer's file system to see what was there, I would have to open up the command prompt and start to type instructions. So dir means display my directory. So I'm in the J. Watson folder. This is what's in the J. Watson folder. It's just a bunch of folders. Okay, the downloads folder, the music folder, the pictures folder. All of these folders are in my folder. Okay, if I wanted to change to another folder, I have to type an instruction. So I've gone from the J. Watson folder back one step to the users folder. And if I want to go back another step, I'm now back into my root C drive folder. Let's have a look and see what's in there. Okay, so we've just got a bunch of directories. Let's jump into the inheritance directory. So now I'm in the inheritance directory. Let's see what's in there. We've got 2 folders, otherwise known as directories, but those terms are interchangeable. So we've got 2 folders here, and we've got a bunch of files. We've got some Python files, and we've got a text file here. Okay. Now what if I want to move this text file to a different folder? Okay, I want to move the text file into my presentations folder. How would I do that? Using the command prompt. I can't remember the instruction, guys. Is it MV for move? Move this file wd-0002.txt. Whoops, let's put the dot in there. That would be a mistake. Into the presentations directory. So let's just type in presentations. It's not a recognizable command. What is the command for moving a file? So these were the challenges that I had when I was a student at university, remembering a whole bunch of files in order for me to organize my files, to remember a whole bunch of commands, sorry. I had to remember loads of commands in order to do simple things. These days, with modern operating systems, I can simply do this. Whoa! There it is. There's WD002. Let's copy it. Let's go back here. Let's go to our presentations folder. And let's paste it. It already exists, so a warning comes up. It already exists. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Okay, so that's good. This is useful. This helps to protect my data, these warning boxes. So let's replace it. Done. Did I type any commands? No. I was just using menu, options, clicking buttons, dragging. You can drag, you can drop. Wow, modern operating systems provide us with a graphical user interface. This graphical user interface allows me to do tasks quickly and easily. So a modern operating system will give me a graphical user interface. That user interface will allow me to manage my files really easily. And remember, it is the operating system which ultimately is doing the file management. The graphical user interface is just allowing me to do it easily. So to summarize, guys, 3 of the key features of operating systems is, number 1, they allow applications on your computer to communicate with input and output devices. They provide you with a graphical user interface. This is just one example of a graphical user interface that I've got. Let's look at another example of my operating system's graphical user interface. So a long time ago, if I wanted to change something about the sound on my computer, I would have to go into my command prompt and I would have to be a genius to figure out how to change settings on my computer. These days, the operating system gives me a graphical user interface and I can make changes to my system very quickly. I can make changes to my file organization very quickly. Okay? Oh, and that's the third one, file management. An operating system allows us to manage our files. Okay? Communicate with input and output, provide a graphical user interface, and allow us to manage files easily. Those are the 3 key features of an operating system.